Hello, welcome, gorgeous beings of light. This is Elmara coming to you from the spectacular Gold Coast hinterland in Queensland, Australia. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous day here. Not too hot. Birds are singing everywhere in the middle of the day. It's just exquisite. And I'm here to bring you miracle number 70. Who can believe we're here already in the 100 Miracles in 100 Days project? And the first step of my fifth dimension activation and effortless manifesting quickie. I hope you can hear those magpies singing in the background. I put this different earphones on so that it might catch it. I just love the sound of the magpie soul. I have actually put a recording in between somewhere of these 100 miracles. It's got a picture of a magpie, and if you're from overseas, it's a black and white bird that sings beautifully, and it's just a conversation I had with one on a park bench while I was waiting for my car to be fixed. So take a big breath in for me, please. In through the nose and out through the mouth. It can be a soft, gentle breath if that's all you can manage. Just so long as you follow the breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just do this several times. Actually, if you want to raise your frequency, you might want to consider doing big belly breaths, filling your belly right up, all the way up to your chest, and breathing out through your mouth. Throughout this miracle, because this one is trippier than the one yesterday when the twin blue-eyed angels appeared when some young man was trying to lose ground on me and obviously had not so pleasant things. Still to this day, I have still not forgotten the look on his face when he turned around to see if I was catching up, and then turned around a second time, of absolute gasping look on his face. And that would have been because he could see the angels. I didn't know they were there. I could feel Source with me, but I couldn't see two angels standing there with me. So here's another one of their great miracles that they did about 5 years later. It's a big miracle. It happened in Bridge Road in Richmond, in the suburb of Melbourne, which is just on the outskirts of the Melbourne city, and it's a bit of a seedy place. Bridge Road is quite long. It has lots of shops in it, but lots of pubs and clubs, and it does have some restaurants and stuff there, more cafe kind of thing. And there's lots of young people in the area. It's very young people, lower kind of income people live in the area. Great if you're young, I guess, but really seedy as well. You know, you wouldn't have done what I'm about to tell you knowingly. So it was, can't remember if it was my birthday or one of my students' birthday. And her boyfriend had just bought her a lovely brand new Mercedes Benz. Just breathe throughout this, because this is going to push your buttons a little bit. I can tell already, but it seriously happened, and it's seriously what's available to all of us if you will just let go of the control and open yourself up to source light, or to your guardian angels, or to whoever, but let go of the control. Stop believing it only has to be one way. Stop looking at everything from your 1% of who you are. Just breathe for me. So She picks me up anyway. We're going to this gorgeous little cafe that is kind of down the end closest to Melbourne. And I loved it. It was called something about Rainbow Over the Bridge Cafe or something like that because it was on Bridge Road. It may not have been that, but obviously it was a vegetarian cafe, but they made exquisite food, and because they cook with love, you could taste that in all the food. Delightfully yummy. So we go to this restaurant. She picks me up in her car. I was asking for a park right out the front, which I always do, especially in busy places like that. We were getting there around 7, 8 p.m. at night. It was dark anyway, I remember that. And when we pulled up, so we got a park, wasn't directly in front, so the cafe was on the corner of a laneway, then there was a laneway, and then there was like a bar that had people all spilled out on the footpath, drinking booze, etc. And we got that park there. So it was, just within, basically a lane and a car park away from the restaurant we wanted to go to, which was pretty good for Bridge Road. That's right out the front in my books anyway. So we pull up. As I said, there's people all drinking and carrying on because there's like a bar right on the corner there. And when we pull up, I remember that I had $2,000 in my bag, and I didn't want to take it into the restaurant. I don't know why that's a dumb thing to have done. I think about it now, and I think that's dumb. I would have just taken it with me and known there would have been angels looking after me. But I asked Angie if I could put the $2,000 in the boot of her car. And I don't know why I would have had $2,000 on me, but it's kind of going back about 12, 15 years when this happened. And so more likely that I probably needed it for rent. And I think back then, your limit on taking money out on your card was $500 or $1,000. So I would have needed the money. I wouldn't have been moving house, but I think I did move into an office or something. Anyway, I can't remember why I had $2,000 in my handbag. I just did. And I asked her if I could put it in the boot of her car, and she said, sure. And then we go off to the restaurant, and it's almost like about half an hour later, I get this intuitive hit. And I say to Angie, did I leave the car door open? And she goes, no, of course you didn't. Don't be silly. Probably could have just gone and poked our head out the window, but we were sitting up towards the front of the restaurant and you couldn't just see out the window. I would have had to get up and go look. She was like, no, of course you did. Don't be silly. We're there till about 10 o'clock when the lovely people come and say, oh, we're closing now. And we walk back out to the car, and the door, the passenger side door where I had been seated, was wide open. There wasn't a soul inside. All the people that from the cafe bar next door had all gone, so they must have just been a 9:30, 10 o'clock or close time themselves. But what blows my mind is that it was an almost brand new Mercedes. I'd left the door open, and there was all these people out on the footpath. It's not like they were inside. They were all out on the footpath drinking and carrying on when we left to go to the restaurant. And nobody came and took the car. Things get stolen in Bridge Road all the time without leaving a car door wide open and letting them help themselves. So, and I was apologising profusely to Angie, saying, I'm so sorry, your beautiful new car. And she goes, it's just a car. I love it when people do that. She goes, it wouldn't have mattered, Elle, even if they had. It's just a car, So I would have been more worried about my $2,000 in the boot of a car missing. But, I was sincerely worried about her, having lost a car, but they didn't. and I just couldn't work out what had happened. And after Angie dropped me off and I was driving home, so I don't know if I went to her place, whatever, but when I got before the end of the night, I said, what happened? Like, how did that happen? It was still, even though I believe in miracles, even though I believe there's still some stuff like that when you leave the car door of a brand new Mercedes wide open, and people saw me put my bag in the boot. So people would have seen me put something in the boot before we closed it and walked off. And nobody got into the car. The car door was open. They could have just walked around to Angie's side, got in, hit the boot button and opened it up. None of that happened. Why? And I just kept going, why? What happened? Why? And Source says to me, the angels came and sat in the car. I said, you're kidding me. Like the blue-eyed angels. I should give them a name. I just call them the blue-eyed angels. I can see them. They're very handsome. I don't see very often. They're very handsome, dark-haired, blue-eyed, tall, over 6 foot tall beings that transform into human-like. They look like twin humans. They look like, they're not big and burly, but they look like you wouldn't take them on. How fantastic is that? So that's my second knowing. I'm sure they've saved me in lots of cases, but that's my second a knowing or awareness that I have of them outrightly helping me at a time when I needed it, or when I'd kind of goofed up in my human self, like leaving car door of a beautiful brand new Mercedes Benz wide open. Just breathe. Just breathe. By that stage of my life, I'd already had so many miracles happen from Source on so many levels that, once they said it had happened, I was like, yeah, cool, that's really happened. Down the other end of Bridge Road once, I met my friend, 30-odd years, in the cafe down the other end, and I could not, and I'd parked in a little side street, right under a street light, could not find my brand new phone anywhere. When I got back to my car, my phone was sitting on my bonnet. Anyone walking past could have picked up that phone and just kept walking. Brand new phone, brand new flip phone. That's how old the miracle is, but they were the big in thing at the time. It was still just sitting on my bonnet. Nobody saw it. So what happened there? Did someone make it invisible? Those angels had been on the scene because the first miracle happened in Brisbane and I went to Melbourne after Brisbane. So maybe they made it invisible, I don't know. I just know that, again, I was in seedy Richmond on Bridge Road and my brand new phone was still sitting on my car bonnet when I got back to it, when I got back to my car. And it's not like at that time I was driving a green car and the phone was silver. If it had been a silver phone on a silver car, which I have a silver car now, you go, but no, it was a silver phone on a green car and it was still there when I got back. So miracles happen all the time. You just have to ask them to help you and look after you and guide you, direct you, protect you, bless you with their presence. See what shows up. Alrighty. So that's pretty fantastic, isn't it? All right. So now we're just going to connect into the fifth dimension. So the first step of the fifth dimension. You won't be connected in the fifth dimension. Some cookies about to sing. Sorry. Yeah, he's going off here today. That other one going, that's a crow. And crows are about your loved ones being nearby. A lot of people have negative connotations about why a crow is there, but I don't believe what they say. I believe it's because your loved ones are near. Oops, oh my God. I don't know if you heard that timer go off. Sorry, I forgot to turn it off before I started this. All right. So just breathe. Bring your awareness into your hands and breathe in. Take your hands up, point them to the sun, and tie the energy from your hands around the sun. Breathe in. Draw your hands down and draw all that source light from the sun down. Golden source light. Breathe it out into your 100 trillion cells and 100 trillion telomeres, and take the last 5% of that energy down and into the core of Mother Earth, and tie that energy around the core of Mother Earth. Breathe in. Bring the energy from the core of Mother Earth all the way back up. Breathe it out into your body. And take the last 5% up to the sun. Breathe in, source light from the sun. Breathe it out into your body. I move my hands up and down. That helps you stay focused. Stops your mind chatter. Take the last 5% down into Earth, pointing your fingers at the core of Mother Earth and tying that in at that 5% around Earth. Breathe in and draw all that Earth energy with all the minerals and nutrients, everything you need to sustain your physical life here on Earth. Breathe it out into your body. Take the last 5% up to the sun. And just do that one exercise. Doing that one simple exercise, even if you never come and do our 10-week Become a Powerful Fifth Dimension Activator training, which the details will be down below when I load this video. But you can still, just doing that one exercise will line you up between the Earth and the Sun and line your meridian lines up. And if you did it every day for 10 to 20 minutes every day, preferably first thing in the morning, in the early morning sun, or standing outside barefoot on Earth, or sitting inside, imagining you're standing on Earth. And if you're too crook, you can do it laying down on your side. But to be most committed, the best way is to stand barefoot on Mother Earth if it's not snowing outside. And if you just did that for 28 days, your life will be unrecognizable, because all your meridian lines are now flowing between the Earth and the Sun, and all of the abundance of the source energy from the sun will be coming into your body, and all of the energy, all of the food, clothing, shelter, all the minerals and nutrients, everything you need from Earth will be coming up into you and flowing, and there'll be a synergy happening there. So and it's in that place that effortless manifesting, it's just like going into the pantry and going, I'll have this today, please God. A lot of times you don't even have to go into the pantry and go, I'll have this, because it all just starts to show up. And things like those 2 miracles I told you today, they're just part of your everyday life. We just call them miracles because we've forgotten that this is who we really are. Alrighty. I'm just going to give you a 30-second blast of fifth dimensional energy, which you can breathe into your being and use it for anything. How can I get a pay rise? How can I meet my soulmate? How can I have a fit and healthy, strong and powerful, lean and flexible body? How can I experience more love and joy in my life? And let it go. Okay, you gorgeous beings of light, sending you so much love and blessings. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.